welcome back for another video. I hope you guys are all staying safe during this time of quarantine. We have been in quarantine for I think about 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks. Actually, I think it's been 4 weeks because we had 1 week of spring break. So we've done 3 weeks of at-home school with my oldest, with my stepson, and he's with us every other week. So on our weeks, it's not a big deal. He's here to do his schoolwork. When he's with his mom, because his mom is an essential worker, she is a nurse, she drops him off here a few days out of the week, and then I do all of his schoolwork with him. It just makes it easier on everyone. He has everything organized and in one place, and one person looking after all of his schoolwork. And then when he goes back to his mom's house, usually he works in the morning until lunchtime, and then after lunch I take him back to his mom's house. Then he can just play with his grandma and his siblings that he has there, and nobody has to worry about his schoolwork. So that's kind of how we're working those things out. But today's video is actually about how I homeschool my preschooler. So our youngest turned 3 in September. He missed the school cutoff date to go to preschool this year by just a couple days. I'm not sure if I made a video yet or not on public schools and how we tried to get him into public school, but his deficits just weren't enough for him to qualify for our early childhood program, which his therapist didn't really understand how he didn't qualify. So then we went the route of trying to enroll him into the private school that my stepson goes to. And unfortunately, like I said, he misses the cutoff date by a few days, which is okay. My intent was to send him to preschool for 2 years because he really needs the socialization with other kiddos. But I mean, he wouldn't be in school right now anyway because nobody is in school. So I guess it doesn't really make a difference. So for the last year, actually the last year and a half, I have been homeschooling our kiddo at home. He will be 4 this fall in September, and he does really well with homeschooling. He calls it his projects. Sometimes, oh, there's our cat in the background. Sometimes he calls it homework. That's been more so since our oldest is at the table doing his homework. Our youngest wants to sit at the table and do his homework too. So I'm just going to kind of show you some of the things that we do, and I hope you guys all enjoy. If you have any questions about where I've found my resources, or the things that I do, feel free to comment below. If you guys have suggestions for fun projects to build on what we're doing, that would be great as well. We're always looking for new things to do. Sometimes we get a little bored with the projects that we do because it's a lot of the same repetitive things over and over. So also, side note, our youngest is super against sensory things. He very much takes after my husband in that he doesn't like to be messy at all, which is funny because he's adopted, but I think my husband has kind of like instilled those you have to be neat and clean and your hands can't get dirty type of mentality on him, because my stepson was like that for a really long time as well, and as he got older he outgrew it. I'm hoping our youngest will outgrow it as well. So in terms of like sensory activities, we have Play-Doh. He is not fond of playing with Play-Doh, which I'm okay with because I hate the smell of Play-Doh. But if he wanted to have Play-Doh, I would get the Play-Doh out. Hi, what can I do for you?
I want to play with trolleys.
Okay, trolley's in the drawer in your room. Go get it. Look in the bottom drawer. And there he goes. Also, as other terms of sensory, we don't really do finger painting. He's not crazy about that. We have done like sensory type things in buckets with like rice and beans. He's okay with those types of things, but like shaving cream, Cool Whip, those are not his types of things. So for some kids, that might be a great option for other things sensory wise to do, but for us, it just really doesn't work in our home. So for starters, we have this giant cart. We call it the art cart. And this is one I'm using to house all of my supplies. As you can see, we kind of have overgrown what we have in here. And this isn't even everything in here, but these are only things that the kids can get out with my direction. We have another container that has art supplies that are kind of just like a free-for-all art supplies. Those can just be used whenever my oldest wants us to craft or anything like that. I use these small containers of these Crayola washable paints. When I ordered these, I ordered a 2-pack of the regular colors, and I could have sworn I ordered a pack of neon colors, and I ended up with 3 packs of all the same. So we have a lot of paint to last us for a long time. So I use the little ones because I can store them all in here. Yes, I am a crazy person who stores everything by color, by rainbow. I put X's on the covers so I know which ones have been opened. And then all of our paintbrushes are in here. We just did a painting project the other day, and so the paintbrushes that we normally have are drying, but we use like thick, round paintbrushes typically whenever we paint, and then we have lots of different little watercolored paintbrushes. This is a watercolor paint set. We have not opened this one yet because we have a smaller one already open, but I think he got this in his sock from Santa. Actually, I think where this is from. But like I said, we haven't opened this one yet. This one has a lot of different watercolors in it. So I'll be excited to open that one when we actually get that far. And then we also have just a standard little one. Have this paint, this acrylic paint. Whenever we do handprints or footprints, and I really want the white to show up on the paper, we use this paint. When you use like washable paint, the paint fades into the paper so much that you can't really see anything anymore. Like using the acrylic paint, you can see the white snowflakes that he made all over. It really stands out on the paper. I don't have an example of the white on a paper because we just don't do it that way. So we have that in one drawer. Another drawer has all of our glue sticks. I'm not sure how I accumulated so many glue sticks, but that's whatever. We use them a lot. This container has various different googly eyes in it, and those types of things. I also have this random blue yarn back here, which I think was for a project, and we never really used it. This drawer has all of the Color Wonder pages, and then a zip pouch that has the Color Wonder markers in it. In this drawer, these are kind of like my supplies. These are my Mr. Sketch markers. I love Mr. Sketch markers. They're my favorite. I do not let the kids use these. These are for me only. We have these Do-A-Dot stampers, and our kids love these things. As you can see over there, at that point, we just let them do it, whatever. Also, we have crayons. These are generally our travel crayons. This is what we usually take when we're taking a road trip in the car. I also have marbles in here that we use for marble painting. I have this little stamp set that we haven't opened yet. I think my stepson bought me this for Christmas or Mother's Day or my birthday one year. And we haven't opened it and used it yet. I forget that that's in here often. We just have some regular crayons, some other random little crayons that we've gotten. Pencils, colored pencils, more markers. And then we have these little stamp things. These are holiday ones. I had gotten them on clearance after Christmas. We also have a Halloween one in here. But we use those often to stamp trace. Here we used it to stamp trace the number 5. We used candy canes. We'd also use them at the holidays when we made Christmas cards for our family. This drawer has tape, scissors, plastic knives. I probably needed those for a project, some dry erase markers, pen, a ruler. In here, this is our kiddo's little bag that's specifically for him. I can't get it open. So this is his watercolor that he's using right now. And then when we went to the Mall of America, we got these little dough things. He, like I said, wasn't crazy about them. We also got these little animals that you can color and then you can wash them off. What else? He made these crayons while we were there. And then this is his crayon that he made, on July 23rd when we went to the Mall of America. There's also usually a box of crayons in here. I think he has since broken them. This drawer here has all kinds of letter activities. These in here are felt letters, and this has felt numbers and felt shapes. And I think there's also some magnetic letters in here. I will see if I can find the video of him when he was maybe just over 2, maybe 2.5, and we laid all the letters out on the floor and we said, find me the letter H. I'll see if I can find that video and I will insert that here. Okay, find the... Where's the T? Find the T. Good job. I'll take it. Thank you. Can you find the... Where's the O? Good job. I'll take it. Where's the... That is an S. Good job. I'll take the S. Where's the H? Where's the H? Good job. Where's the... But that's kind of what we did with these. We haven't really used these in a long time. I'm just holding on to them. I think for when we start working on learning sight words, and we'll probably use the letters to spell out words and those types of things. We also have these sticker rolls of letters and numbers that we haven't used. I think I got them in the dollar section at Target one time when they were just clearing out for the next stuff. And we also have these felt stickered letters, and we haven't used those for anything yet either. Some of these things are just things that I've seen. I'm like, oh, hey, those would be really cool. I could do something with them, and then I never did. So now they're just in there. This drawer has all of our stickers in it. We use stickers for all kinds of things. As you can see in the letter E here, we used stickers to trace the letter E and to put stickers on the outline. He loves doing stickers. He loves doing stickers like this. This is the second time we've worked our way through the alphabet and numbers 1 through 20 in terms of outlining and tracing them. This time, as we're working through, we're focusing more on letter sounds since he can identify the letters and numbers. We're working more on sounds. And I'll kind of go into that more later. This drawer has all of construction paper that's so full it hardly closes. This drawer has our beads. So we use these beads along with these loop bracelets. You can use these. When I was a kid, we used to use these on a loom to make like hot pads and stuff like that. So we use those, and what we do is I have him for small muscle type activities. He strings them on here and I tie them shut. And then we make little bracelets. He's made bracelets for his grandparents and other people. Usually what I do is when I cut the bracelet, then I'll put a piece of tape on one end because it frays and it gets really hard to push through the bead. So then, and then tie a knot on the other end, and then he strings all of these on. We have several of these all over our house. And then when it gets full, I just tie it closed, snip off what's extra, and we have this cute little bracelet that he made. Another thing that we've done, this is the same concept. When it was winter out, we were making snowmen, and this was supposed to be a snowman. He didn't want to finish it to make arms and stuff for it or a hat, so we just have 3 strung together. That's supposed to be like a snowman. Like I said, he didn't want to finish it, and I didn't really push it. It took him quite a while to string these 3 together because sometimes he struggles with the small muscle activities. And then another thing that we did with the beads was around St. Patrick's Day, we actually made these 4-leaf clovers. So instead of using the loom pieces, we used pipe cleaners, and then had him push beads onto there, and then I made them into a shamrock. So he made a couple of these. I think my stepson was home sick from school that day, or it was like the 24-hour waiting day before he could go back to school, but he wasn't sick anymore. So he made one of these as well. Another thing we have down here in this drawer, I find these books at Target all the time and making books. So instead of having him tape 20 pieces of construction paper together, we just use these. And I pick up a pack or two of them every time I see them in the dollar spot at Target. I think that these are usually $3, and for me it's $3 well spent. And you get 6 of these books. Our youngest, if we're going to be in the car for a while on a road trip, he gets one of these books to color in, and usually he's pretty well entertained. Sometimes he decides on Sunday he doesn't want to go to Sunday school, so I'll take one of these books and the crayons to church with us, and he'll color in that. Kind of somewhat keeps him quiet. Not really, but it's worth a try. Also, we have another book that we used for something else, which I'll show you in a minute. So I think we got the heart ones around Valentine's Day. We have black ones, we have white ones, we have solid colored ones. There are all different options, depending on the time of the year. Now, I haven't seen them at Target recently, but with the quarantine and stay at home, everything going on right now with the COVID-19, I haven't really looked much through the dollar spot at Target. I also have this folder that I have things in that I'm saving. So right now I have these letters and numbers that we have been working on for a while. This is our second round through the alphabet. When we're done, I usually staple them all together to make a book. So right now, like I said, our kiddo can recognize all of his shapes, numbers, letters. He knows all of that stuff, so we're not really working on any of that stuff anymore. Right now we're working on the letters and how to write them and the sounds that they make. He, because he has speech problems, can somewhat make the sounds. I think he knows most of the letter sounds. I think he just struggles producing the sounds. Because if I make a letter sound, he can tell me what letter it is. So again, that leads me to believe he just struggles with pronouncing or producing the letter sound. So for this one, what we did was I write the letter on a piece of construction paper, and then he takes his finger and he traces the letters. So he'll say down and then around to make the letter D, and he'll do that a few times. Then usually I let him decide if he wants to use stickers, stamps, or paint, or dots to decorate the letter D. So for the letter D, he chose to use paint, and what I do is put a little bit of paint on a plate and then give him a Q-tip, and he dips the Q-tip in the paint and then puts it on the paper to go all the way around the letter D. Also what he did with the number 4 here. This is an example of the one that he did with stickers. Here's just another example with the stamps, of him just stamping on the line. Then for him, we also have this book of self-portraits. So every once in a while, I have him make a self-portrait of himself. This was the very first one that we did. He wasn't quite 3 years old. So he made this self-portrait. He just drew a self-portrait, and that was that. And as he was saying things, I kind of just drew them on I just kind of wrote on there what they were supposed to be. Then we have the self-portrait, which was more of a guided self-portrait. We kind of said to him, like, okay, so what's on your body? Or what do you have? You need a head, and you need a body, and arms, and legs. So that's how we came up with this self-portrait. This is just a random page that he started coloring on and didn't like what he was doing. And then this is his current self-portrait. This is very age typical. You have your head, your legs come off of your head, you have arms off of your head, and then these are his ears. I don't know why they're so long. He has hair, 2 eyes, a mouth, and a tongue. So in terms of letters and all of those types of things, right now we're really focusing on writing letters. So the first thing we do is when we give him a letter, we have him trace the letter with his finger on the proper way to write it. Trace it with your finger. Show Mom how you do it with your finger. Down, around, around. You try.
Down. And around. Good.
Good job. Close enough. So then after he does that, then we give him the pencil or the pen or the marker or whatever he's going to use to write with. And then we really focus on holding the pencil the correct way and then tracing the letters. Write your letter B's. Show Mom how to do it. If you don't want to write those ones, then write your own letter B. Can you write your own letter B? Start right here. Start right here and write a letter B. One hand on the pencil. One hand on the pencil. Write your letter B. You're doing a good job. One hand on the pencil. There you go. Good job. Now go around. Good job. Can you do where we got these from either? I think, I have a feeling that they came from like the Dollar Tree or something like that. But we have these books and they're Sesame Street. So if your kids love Sesame Street, this is perfect. This was a number book. We did the number book first. We started this quite a while ago. And there was a lot of help involved in doing this. As you can see, he didn't even want to finish trying to write the letters. But there was a lot of help involved in doing these. Then we kind of got to where we were writing letters. And I think in these instances, these ones he probably wrote by himself. But with these ones, I probably was holding the crayon with him to help him write the letters and the numbers. Like you can tell which ones he tried himself. And this one he probably did himself, and this one I helped him with. And they have all kinds of number activities in here. So we did almost all of that. It looks like we didn't do the last page in this book. So there is that book. The alphabet book is the one that we're working on now to write letters. And these ones, I'm really having him focus on writing the letters himself. We don't as much pay attention to these other activities. Sometimes he's into them, sometimes he's not. But as you can see here, this one I probably helped him write. This one he wrote on his own. This one I probably helped him write. And then I realized that he was making H's instead of A's. So then I put the dot at the top of the page to try to get him to draw from the dot down and the dot down to make A's. And then I think this one he did on his own and it looks a lot more like an A. And then you'll notice here I probably helped him write this A, and these were the A's he wrote on his own, which he did a fairly good job of. And then we started working on the B's. The uppercase B's I helped him with. These are his lowercase B's he wrote on his own. And we haven't gone any further than this. We usually do about 1 or 2 pages every time we sit down at the table to do homework. However, we don't always use this book. We have other books that we work on. Sometimes he's interested in sitting at the table longer and doing more of these, but not always. I kind of just take his cue from that. And then this is the letter sounds book with Cookie Monster. We have not started working on this book yet. But it looks like you are identifying, like this is identifying what words start with the letter B. And so then you color in the words that start with the letter B. And that's what most of this book is, and just identifying those sounds. So we haven't started working on that one yet. We also have this Leapfrog Letter Writer, and this also helps with, ooh, it's upside down. This also helps with learning to write letters. So let's see. If we turn this on level one, and if we chose
let's write the uppercase
a
letter
T.
T. Let's write it. First, make a line straight down. Next, make a straight
See if I
line
can do this looking through the
to
camera.
here. Press the red rectangle when you're finished.
And so then you trace it, push the red rectangle, and there you have a letter T.
T makes
This
the
then,
sound.
oh, no, he comes
Well
because he doesn't know
done.
what I'm doing. So
Move
then
the
I do
slider at the
this.
bottom to erase.
Please, Mama.
All right, here, you do it.
Press a letter or a number
Pick a
button.
letter.
And to the letter A.
Okay, push the letter A.
A.
Just push it once.
Make a line.
Okay, now write the letter A.
Now, make a line from here to
Keep
here.
crossing.
Finally, across the middle. Press
All
the
right,
red
good job.
rectangle when you're finished.
Let's go down.
Press the red rectangle
To
when
go
you're
all the
finished.
way down to the bottom.
Down.
Trace over the lights.
There. There. Go.
Good job. Then you
Level
could
two.
switch it to level
Let's write letters
2.
and numbers. Press a
And
letter
if I
or
chose
the
the letter
uppercase
V.
letter V. Let's write it. Start here. Keep the stylus.
This is just a little more advanced. The letters show up as you're doing it to write the letters in the alphabet.
You wrote the uppercase letter V.
And that has
V
numbers
makes write the number
1 through 10.
10. First,
So
write
again,
the number 1. Start.
we're going to start here, and it
Then
senses
write
where
the
you
number.
are.
Here, then.
It also does
Start
not let you
here.
work ahead. So that's, we have this, and he loves playing with this. We do this all of
your pen on
the time. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I know this time is very stressful for a lot of us right now, and this is just kind of how we break up our day a little bit. Staying home is not something new necessarily for us. We don't really go out a lot of places and do a lot of things during the week. It just kind of stings that on the weekends we can't get out and go to those places that we enjoyed going, like the museums and the parks and all of that kind of stuff. But staying home during the week isn't something new for us. That's what we normally do. I just feel like we're really struggling having to stay home on the weekends too. Otherwise, if you guys have suggestions for more videos, let me know. In terms of our foster care license, we were doing some foster care training because of COVID-19. We made it through 4 courses out of 8 and it got canceled. So we did get 8 continuing education hours, but other than that, we are going to have to find ways to fill in the rest of our continuing ed hours before March of next year, which I think we have 9 or 10 more hours left to complete in the next 10 months or so. Also, we were asked if we would consider taking a placement during this COVID-19 things going on, because they're making a new list of homes that would be willing to accept a new placement, and we said that we would consider whatever they had to offer us. We haven't gotten any calls about anything. I think right now they're just trying to not take kids as much. Also, without kids being able to go to the doctor, kids not being in schools, they're not probably getting as much reference calls because there aren't those extra sets of eyes on the kids. So I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.